showed a series of films of environment, they themselves said that they want to look at this issue. And so I gave them cameras, stills cameras, to understand what an image is. And I sent them out with those cameras. And when they came back with over 200 pictures, images of environmental conditions in Alex. And then when we viewed it on the screen, they were totally stunned by the totality of the crisis in this community, the crisis of neglect and underdevelopment. And so they said to themselves and said to us that they were now conscious of the fact that they've lost so many of their rights, that there's a deep neglect, that they feel that their dignity has been affronted. And that's the very core of the liberation struggle.
If you chase that criminal, you won't find the criminal, because within 2 houses, he'll disappear. Because there's a house next to another house, next to the door of another house. You see, it's just a confusion. Just a confusion. There's no order. Even in the infrastructure, the designing of Alex, it's out of order.
Third Cinema is concerned with filmmakers looking at their own societies and finding ways in which they could address development issues.
From my knowledge, I know that Alex is one of the most unprivileged townships in South Africa. And by looking at all the images, you can see that it has not been taken care of for a very, very, very long time. So I think it would be a great way to make an example of other places in South Africa and to show what's happening and some things that we're not aware of.
I'm not happy with what is happening in Alex. People in the community are not taking responsibility. And we have this tendency as black people of blaming, every time blaming, pointing fingers at others. While we are responsible for our properties, we are responsible for our community as well as our families.
When we look at the interiors of Cinema for Change, we are talking about how can the arts, how can cinema play a more dynamic role in developing our understanding of the world we live in, and through that raising a certain kind of consciousness in us and in the audiences that we work with, so that they can play a much more meaningful role in the change process.
They may bring some changes, these images. How? If the government will see that it's not the opposition that are in control or are seeing what is happening in Alex, even ordinary people are seeing this. Even artists, film clubs, they are seeing this, and it's affecting children.
The community is not responsible and the government is not responsible. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to instill here is that it starts with you.
Certainly our work is to an unschooled person would seem to be quite strong and revolutionary. Yes, it is revolutionary, but it is not about turning houses over. It's about building, it's about growing plants, it's about widening our horizon and our understanding.